The Infiniti Q60 Red Sport has 400 horsepower and it isn't afraid to use it. Well, more accurately, I wasn't afraid to use it. You see, coupes with this much power tend to be a bit hairy or skittish to drive, especially in road and weather conditions like this. But the Q60 Red Sport was definitely more reasonable to drive and far more comfortable too. Oh, and in case you were wondering, it's extremely fast. Confession time, when I first heard that this car had 400 horsepower, all I could think of was, really? That's it? I mean, Camaros and Mustangs have more power than this. And while this is within spitting distance of a BMW M4 or a Cadillac ATS-V, Infiniti isn't really known for its lightweight cars. And this all-wheel drive version of the car weighs almost 4,000 pounds. But after driving this car, I can say that 400 horsepower is more than enough. In fact, this car is so fast, I think Infiniti might be underrating this car because it's so much quicker than just 400 horsepower. Now, making all this happen is a 3-liter twin-turbo V6 engine that has a lot in common with the GTR's engine. You know, Godzilla. Now, this thing is smaller and less powerful than the motor that's found in the GTR. I still think it deserves a nickname. I don't know, maybe like T-Rex or Mothra or Clovey. You know, the monster from Cloverfield movies. I don't know, we'll keep working on it. There's a lot of really clever engineering found under the hood that makes this car feel really responsive, which is rare for a turbocharged car like this. There's a short, efficient intake path, which helps this car's throttle feel really responsive and spools up the turbos really quickly. And there's an optical turbo speed sensor, which helps the turbo spool up even quicker. As a result, these turbos have 14.7 PSI of boost and spin up to a ridiculous 240,000 RPM. And paired to this engine is a 7-speed automatic transmission that's hooked up to the car's lateral acceleration sensor and topography sensor, so it can tell whether you're on a hill or in the middle of a corner and can change the gears accordingly. Now, I don't think this transmission is exactly fast. It's not as fast as a BMW 8-speed automatic, and it's no dual-clutch transmission. And while you can get this car with rear-wheel drive, the version we have is an all-wheel drive model. It sends the power 50-50 between the front and rear axles, but when it can tell that the front axles don't need all that power, it will make the car 100% rear-wheel drive. In terms of drivetrain, there's really nothing to complain about in this car. It feels plenty fast. And sure, it's not a BMW M4, I would consider this car, you know, a mini GTR. But this car really isn't a mini GTR because a GTR is a supercar killer. It's fun to drive. And this car, well, is let down by its steering and suspension. That's because this car uses a direct adaptive steering, which is to say that the front wheels are not attached to the steering wheel in any physical way. Instead, a series of sensors and an actuator control the front wheels. What happens is that the car filters out a lot of the road noise, which means that you don't feel things like big rocks or potholes or sewer covers, but at the same time, the steering feels really numb and lifeless. One upside though is that you can adjust the steering weight. So if you want the car to feel really heavy, you can do that through the settings. Or if you want light steering, you can really change that too. Additionally, this car features adaptive suspension, and it does a really good job of keeping the car feeling flat and level, but also staying very comfortable. But like I said before, it's not very engaging, and as a whole, the car feels a little lifeless. So besides being fast, this car isn't really fun to drive. But that's okay, it comes with a lot of driver assistance features, and it practically acts like a semi-autonomous car altogether. For example, this car features a very advanced adaptive cruise control system that can see 2 cars ahead of you, so that when the car you can't even see is braking, your car will react in anticipation of that. Another thing worth pointing out is the lane keep system, which works with the direct adaptive steering to make your car feel like it's tractor beamed to the center of the lane. Now, one feature that I absolutely love is the around view camera system. You see, coupes are notorious for having poor visibility, and having a really good camera system helps you park this car with ease. The interior of this car is very nice. It's conservative yet stylish, especially with the silver optic fiber, which is like a shinier take on carbon fiber. It's so eye-catching, and everyone who's seen the interior of this car has an opinion on it. What I don't like is the 2 infotainment screen system, which is slow and cumbersome to use. And finally, let's talk about how this car looks. Simply put, it's one of the prettiest and most eye-catching new coupes on the market. It's so natural looking without any over-aggressive, sharp angles or even a huge grille. I love the way this thing looks, and if you're buying a coupe for its cool factor, the Q60S should be at the top of your list. The all-wheel drive Q60S Red Sport 400 starts at around $54,000, and this fully loaded model comes in at $61,555. The Q60 Red Sport may not be the sportiest coupe, but it's definitely very fast and very pretty. To be honest, I was expecting this car to be a bit of a bore, you know, like an old man car, but I was very impressed with this high-tech luxury coupe, and I bet you will be too.